Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and in this video I have a bumper unboxing of the Imperial figures, the Imperial Forces figures that you get in the archive, Wave 4. And here we go. I have the Shoretrooper, we've got the Imperial Hover Tank Driver, and the Imperial Death Trooper. Fabulous. Let's get to it.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
Okay, so this is the complete Wave 4 set for the Imperial figures. The other figure you get in the Wave 4 set for the Archive edition is the Tuscan Raider, which I've done a separate video on. But I thought, because the other three figures in that set were all Imperial base figures, I would do one collective review. And they're quite a variation of figures, but they do all come from the same feature. All of these figures featured in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, throughout different parts of the film, and they all have their own individual unique features, obviously, as you can tell. One of the things that I've noticed just by lining them up is the height difference between the Death Trooper, which is here on my right, and the difference in the height, as I said, between him and the others. He is a lot more taller and a lot more slender as well, than the other figures. I think he's a lot more slender in general than most of the other Stormtrooper figures as well. So that's an interesting detail that I never really noticed, especially in the film. But obviously it gives them that little bit of a distinctive edge, a little bit more of a sort of like a weird kind of aesthetic. I mean, they are weird looking troopers as they are anyway. Unique and a lot more, let's say, a lot more terrifying than the normal Stormtroopers. But anyway, coming away from that, I'll be going through each of these individually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start straight down the middle with the Hoverton Trooper. I'll just get rid of these two. Like I said, the Hoverton Trooper does appear in Rogue One. You see him during the skirmish fight on Jeddah, in a hover tank, no less, and he gets blown away relatively easy as well. And in terms of style, it's not really that much different from the Shoretrooper, which I just had there as well. Obviously, the helmet is a lot more different. Has a very distinctive sort of shape to it. Probably much more First Order looking than the rest of the regular Stormtrooper figures in the Imperial Forces. But, you know, the level of detailing is there for this figure, especially like around the the discoloration here on the chest plate and down the lower legs as well. Again, the legs are very much similar to the Shoretrooper, which you'll see in just a second. And around the back, got some lovely detailing there on the backpack, on the back of the armor. And again, that discoloration, that weathering look, goes right the way through this figure in particular. Especially in the boots. Although the boots, weirdly enough, I don't know if you'll be able to tell the difference in colour there. The boots seem to be a little bit lighter, especially to my eye. You might not be able to pick that up on the video, but the boots seem to be a little bit lighter than the rest of the armour, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a manufacturing issue or whatever. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. The only thing I've noticed when trying to pose this figure is this particular foot. You can see it is very, very loose. It's still attached. It's not broken entirely, but it is very loose. So that makes it a little bit difficult to get him to stand upright. As you can see there, he wants to fall over, but there you go. Quite secure now. But the only accessory you get with this figure is the standard issue Stormtrooper Blaster. There you go. Again, nothing really to shout about there with the blaster. It is just the bog standard one that you get with a lot of the Stormtrooper figures. And if you watch the Tuscan Raider video, I did lament some of the the lack of features in this, notably like the colouring or the weathering or whatever. Some of them you do get a bit of silver on. This one, nothing at all. This is a very basic, just black piece of plastic. A little bit of a shame, but again, nothing really to worry about that much. There you go. Right, we're going to move on to the Shoretrooper. Again, you see this figure, this character quite a lot during the Battle of Scarif towards the end of the film. Obviously, these troopers are very much based on Scarif. And again, I think it's the subtle little bits of detail that really make this figure stand out. I like the yellowing and the deep brown mixed in with the spots of red, especially on the helmet and the arm here, and that lovely little white line across the shoulder, whether that means some form of rank or designation, not entirely sure. Again, the backpack is very similar to the Hoverton Trooper, and indeed the helmet itself isn't really all that different. Obviously the visor is a lot different, as is the mouthpiece area here. But I love this detailing on the belt here. I love this little pouch that goes right away across. Really gives it a bit more of a distinctive edge. Gives these figures, a lot of distinctiveness from the other rank and file stormtroopers that we've seen. And I think that's one of the best takeaways from Rogue One, is that they really delved in to give you extra sort of ideas and features from the Imperial Army. That they weren't just black and white. They had, a lot of other distinctive echelons of their force. But enough of that. Enough of gushing about the Empire. Again, I do like the detailing, like I said, on the armor piece here, especially around the midriff. Just those little bit of subtle details give this figure something else entirely. Again, he says all, there we go. Yeah. All the posability, the dexterity is quite good in this figure. This particular one, the head is quite tough. I'm having to give that a little bit of force just to move that around. It doesn't feel like it's stuck or damaged anyway, he says, as that's flopping about a bit. So it's tough turning to the left and to the right, but it's quite loose up and down. Okay, fair enough. Again, yep, all the posabilities there. No real issues with the leg. As you'd expect, there's a lot of dexterity in these figures, a lot of posability. And for this particular Stormtrooper, you do get a blaster, and interestingly enough, there is some slight coloration. I don't know if you can see those silver markings there, just getting picked up with the light. Some light silver markings. Interesting weathering. Why they can't do this on all Stormtrooper blasters, or at least, the ones where you'd expect them to. Like obviously the weathering on the Hoverton Trooper would, suit really well with a weathered blaster. As you can see there, you can see the shine, the silver being picked up there, especially on the handle there. Yeah, bit strange. It does bother me sometimes when I think about what Hasbro are actually trying to, what they're doing with some of these figures. I mean, look at there on the side of the rifle there, the ammo slot. Yeah, see, it just makes all the difference. I think there's little differences. Interesting enough, I do have two other variants of the Shoretrooper. Just 2 seconds. I will quickly grab them. You can admire that for a moment. So there we have it. There is the Shoretrooper Lieutenant and the ACT driver here in the white. So all three of these appeared in the Battle of Scarif. Different variations. Obviously, you can see the subtle differences in the designs, which again I think is is pretty delightful thing. They all seem to follow the same design setup. The red markings on the helmet. See, this one's different. It's got an Imperial symbol. These two don't. They just have whatever that red marking is, probably a designation for Scarif itself. And obviously the red transfers for the arm there as well, but obviously the Lieutenant has a nice blue stripe, and of course he has that wonderful sort of skirting going on. So there you go, you can see the differences and the similarities between the three of them. And just having this regular Shoretrooper really does kind of offset the rest of these. So I'll get rid of them. Let's carry on. Oh, let's jump straight to the Death Trooper. Like I said, there is a massive height difference there. You can see I'm having to just stand him a little bit further back than the others. But look at that. It's a very, very imposing figure. I do like it. This is the first time I've had one of these. And I do like, the design feature of the figure, of the character. Again, something brilliantly unique, yet fits with the aesthetic of the Empire. I know a lot of people were a bit unsure about these. I think it is when they're trying to talk. I don't know why they've got that weird sort of speech thing where you actually can't understand what they're saying. I don't get that. But other than that, I think the design of this figure is really, really good. The posability is excellent. There's not really that much to worry about, I don't think. No, everything seems to be moving all right. Yeah. But just looking at the details, so on the belt in particular, there's a lot going on here. A hell of a lot going on here. You can see a lot of pouches. There's also a weird holster. I didn't know what it was for at first. Here, you see that? Didn't know what it was for at first, and I realised it's actually for this blaster. Smaller sort of handgun blaster. At least I think it is. I mean, it seems to fit perfectly well. But again, just going back to what I said about the weathering effects on these blasters. This is just brown. It's just a brown piece of plastic. And again, it's disappointing when you consider how shiny this figure is, how detailed it is. I mean, look at the greens there. The green reflections. I mean, I don't think you can see it properly. Let's bend his knees so you can see it. The green tint in the visor. The way the helmet reflects the light, the way the armor reflects the light as well. And then you have this just boring ass brown pistol. I mean, come on. And not only that, but you also get the rifle as well that you see them use. And again, this is just plain ass brown. Oh wait, there's a little bit of red on there. Oh, fantastic. A little bit of red. But again, it's just brown. Why is it brown? I don't know. Give us a nice lovely silver, weathered silver, instead of just brown and a smidge of red. Never mind. But yes, going back to the holster, sorry, I got distracted there yet again by the lamentations of the weapons. Let's move you around out the way, sir. So yes, the holster right here. I mean, for me, that seems to be what it's for. Seems to be a holster of some kind. I mean, it does sit in there quite well. Don't know whether I've done that back to front or not. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. But yeah, that does seem to fit in there. So I'm assuming that's what that's for. Again, a little bit odd. But it kind of fits with the sleek design, I suppose, rather than having a quite a wide sort of holster for this particular figure. But it is just that detailing in the light. You can see all the little markings on the arm pieces, the forearms, again around the midriff where there is some wonderful detailing. Plenty of lines. And again around the legs as well. Again, plenty going on with this figure. It is a really, really good figure. It's just those accessories, those weapons are absolute... they're just trash. They're just trash. But there you have it. There is the Death Trooper. There is the Hovertank Trooper, if he's going to stand up. That busted foot of his. And there is the Shoretrooper. This is Wave 4 of the Archive series from the Black Series line. And that is it for this video. If you liked this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more unboxings like this. Pretty much going to be most Fridays whenever I have some. If a video doesn't pop up, I haven't received the figure that week. But this is it. This is it for the Wave 4 Archive series. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. What do you think about these boring ass brown weapons? Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.